ആർട്ട് കഫേ. കലയുടെ സംസ്കാര സമന്വയ മുദ്രകൾ.
താൻ ഉൾപ്പെടുന്ന ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡേഴ്സ് വിഭാഗത്തിന്റെ അവകാശങ്ങൾക്കായി പോരാടുകയും കലാപ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിൽ സജീവമായി ഇടപെടുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡേഴ്സ് ആക്ടിവിസ്റ്റും കലാകാരിയുമായ കൽക്കി സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യത്തിന്റെ അനുഭവങ്ങളും നിരീക്ഷണങ്ങളും തുടർന്ന് കേൾക്കാം. തമിഴ്നാട് കേന്ദ്രീകരിച്ച് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന കൽക്കി സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യം അറിയപ്പെടുന്ന നർത്തകിയും ചിത്രകാരിയും എഴുത്തുകാരിയും ചലച്ചിത്ര നടിയുമാണ്. 2011 റിലീസായ നർത്തകി എന്ന തമിഴ് സിനിമയിൽ മുഖ്യ കഥാപാത്രത്തെ അവതരിപ്പിക്കുക വഴി ദേശീയ തലത്തിൽ പ്രശസ്തി നേടി.
പുരുഷനും സ്ത്രീയുമല്ലാതെ ജീവിക്കേണ്ടി വരുന്നവർ, ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ, സമൂഹത്തിൽ ഏറെ പാർശ്വവൽക്കരിക്കപ്പെട്ട വിഭാഗം, അവജ്ഞയും അപമാനവും നേരിട്ട് ജീവിക്കാൻ വിധിക്കപ്പെട്ടവർ. എന്നാൽ തളരാതെ തകരാതെ ആ ജീവിതയാത്രയിൽ മുന്നോട്ടു പോയവരുണ്ട്. സ്വയം മുന്നോട്ടു പോകുക മാത്രമല്ല, ജീവിതം ഒരു പോരാട്ടമാക്കി മാറ്റി കൂടെയുള്ളവർക്കും അതിജീവിക്കാൻ ശക്തി പകർന്നവർ. ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ ആക്ടിവിസ്റ്റ് എന്നതോടൊപ്പം നല്ലൊരു ചിത്രകാരിയും കവയിത്രിയും കൂടിയാണ് കൽക്കി സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യം.
My passion for poetry and as well as art, both of it, actually came during my school days.
സ്കൂളിലെ തിക്താനുഭവങ്ങളായിരുന്നു കലയിലേക്കും കവിതയിലേക്കും നയിച്ചത്.
To escape the bullying from the school, I used to run away from the school and go to parks and forests, sit under the trees, and I used to visualize my future using a pen and a paper. That's how art came to me. It came out of fear and pain, and at the same time hope and joy of being able to express your true femininity in a paper. So art was born out of that, and my poetry was completely out of pain, out of how my friends were discriminated, thrown out of their homes, the anger. My activism is born out of anger, actually. My activism is truly born out of anger, but it channeled to that negative feeling of anger. I made sure that it actually channeled into activism, it channeled into art, it channeled into poetry, and it also channeled into films and all that, yes. I think I celebrate being queer, being trans through art. I think trans people, transgender people are, very emotional people with a lot of vibrant characters in them, so beautiful characters in them. And I wanted to convey that through canvas and through colors. And if you look at my paintings, I almost use all the colors on the palette into my art. And Frida Kahlo is one of my favorite painters. So I adore her because number one, she's a queer woman. Number two, she was crippled because of an accident. And number three, she had so much of trauma in her life, unable to deliver a child. Even though she wanted a child, her body did not cooperate and she was unable to deliver a child. She had a broken marriage. In spite of all that, she made beautiful art. She made very, very beautiful art, very honest artwork. Until today, I don't find any other artist who's as honest as, if pain could be so beautiful and one's own pain could be beautiful and it can be conveyed in a very fluid and beautiful way, then that is Frida Kahlo's artwork. So I'm very much attracted to her artwork. I respect her deeply. So my paintings, if Frida paints a lot of her life, I paint her. Her portrayals. There's a joy in me in celebrating that woman. She's a fellow artist. So while I celebrate people like Frida Kahlo, I also celebrate our queer community, our hopes, our life. I also am very much, I love nature and I respect it, because when I was bullied and rejected by humans, it's nature that I embraced me as a child. So nature is also like a mother to me. So I do a lot of paintings on nature, landscapes, and all that. So for me, painting has been a joy, a way, a spiritual way of celebrating our gender identity, sexual orientation, and also uh, fantastically expressing what my heart says. That's it.
പ്രശസ്ത നടി ശ്രീദേവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഓർമ്മകൾ.
I think she's an epitome of talent. She herself was a dream girl. Beyond her fan thing and her popularity as a Bollywood star, she was an all-rounder. She was a great actress, amazingly talented, a wonderful comedian, a great dancer. She was. And I've adored her right from my childhood because whenever I felt sad, I watched a Sridevi film. So there were so many of her comedy was absolutely marvelous. She was very good at that. She made me laugh, she made me cry, she made me dance. I used to copy her dances and do party dance with my friends and all that. So I adored Sridevi. I was heartbroken when she died. But when I did my artwork on Sridevi, it was a tribute to her. Mostly a tribute to a person who made me happy. Not just because I'm a fan of her, but mostly because she has made me happy during my childhood, and it was my gratitude, a tribute to Sridevi. And my luck, or as Karma would say, when I exhibited that in a hotel in Pondicherry, Bonnie Kapoor's friend was there. So she took pictures of my artwork and she sent it to Bonnie Kapoor. And actually, Bonnie Kapoor purchased two of my paintings. I was really surprised. And I think Sridevi wanted to surprise me with a very happy thing. So it was really surprising for me how things got connected.
ഇന്ത്യക്കകത്തും പുറത്തും സ്വന്തം സമൂഹത്തിനു വേണ്ടി ശബ്ദമുയർത്തിയ ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ ആക്ടിവിസ്റ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു കൽക്കി. ഹാർവേഡ് സർവകലാശാല, ഗൂഗിൾ ആസ്ഥാനം തുടങ്ങിയ ഇടങ്ങളിലെല്ലാം സംസാരിക്കാനായി ചെന്ന അനുഭവങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച്.
I would say it's nothing different from how they perceive here. But in the US, they are more open and accepting in certain states. That is, on the northern states of the United States are more progressive when it comes to human rights and minority rights, especially California on this side, on New York and other New Jersey, state of New Jersey on the other side. All those northern states are all very progressive when it comes to the trans communities and LGBTQI communities' rights. I've never been to the South though, but I've heard that the South is not very supportive. But the thing is, like overall in the US, people wanted to listen to you. People wanted to learn from you, which I love. And whatever we speak here, the issues are, for example, the transgender issues, whether it's in the US or whether it's in Kannur, it's all the same. Family rejection, lack of jobs, lack of support, wanting medical transition. And that is why when I speak at Harvard or in Yale or in Cornell universities, I talk about my activism work, on how I do my activism through art, through my spoken word, through my poetry, literature, and through movies, inspiration talks and all that. So they do connect with me, and they are really fascinated on how I use all these medium to connect and to address one issue. So I think being in the US and speaking about gender minority rights, queer rights, transgender rights is absolutely, they are very interested to listen to it.
ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ സമൂഹത്തെ ഏറെ ചേർത്തുപിടിക്കുന്ന നാടാണ് കേരളം. എന്നാൽ കേരളത്തിൽ ഇനിയും ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്.
In Kerala particularly, whether it is the previous Congress government or if it is the current communist government, every government has been supportive of the transgender community, which really makes me happy. In 2015, the transgender policy was introduced here. The transgender state policy was introduced here. And since then, I was thinking there will be a great progress in the state of Kerala. There has been progress, particularly when it comes to, you know, when it comes to the gender reassignment surgery. The government has been helping transgender people by offering them, funds to do the medical transition, by offering them the support like that, which I think no state in India is doing. It's one of the important things in a transgender person's life is to support for their gender transition medically. But because we don't have that much money, we cannot earn that much money. Most people don't do it at all. But the Kerala government has been really, really good on that. And I thank the government for that support. But at the same time, there are many important issues that the government has to focus on. For example, housing. Housing is big problem for transgender community. Transgender people, many of them are homeless, and also many of them live with other transgender people. It's so difficult to get a house for a trans person in Kerala. The rent is double the times of what a man and a woman will pay. So discrimination exists on that as well. So Kerala Housing Board, through the Housing Board, Kerala should implement free houses and land pattas for the transgender community. Number two, that was number 1 point. Secondly, the government needs to issue separate ration card, and that too individual ration cards for the transgender persons. But they feel that a ration card is not important at the moment. It's included and the trans community can avail. But I definitely feel that a separate ration card will be very beneficial to meet the basic needs of the transgender community. And most importantly, number 3, every transgender person in the state should be issued a health insurance card. They should be able to not just avail only gender reassignment surgery support. They should be able to get any kind of medical support, for example, if they are having a surgery. And one very last important thing is there are a number of transgender people who are not educated. They need to be encouraged to be entrepreneurs. And the state government should fund entrepreneurship initiatives to encourage and empower transgender entrepreneurs. So these are some of the concerns I wanted to put forth in front of the Chief Minister of Kerala as well as in front of the Social Justice Minister of Kerala.
ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ സുപ്രധാനമായൊരു കോടതി വിധിയായിരുന്നു 2014 സുപ്രീം കോടതി വിധി. ആ വിധിയുണ്ടാക്കിയ മാറ്റങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച്
I think in these 10 years of NALSA judgment, the NALSA judgment actually came in on April 15th, 2014, for which I have worked a lot with the Supreme Court Judiciary as well as with the Chief Justice of India, Altamas Kabir sir, and other lawyers as well, sensitizing the officials, judiciary at the National Judicial Academy in Bhopal, in Chennai and all that. I think the NALSA judgment was a revolutionary and important judgment, a milestone victory for the transgender community. But if you look at the past 10 years after the judgment, what has happened is very slow progress. The community is still, many of them are beggars, majority of them are sex workers. Families still continue to reject the transgender community persons, and education is a challenge, employment is a challenge. And even though the NALSA judgment directed for reservation quotas in jobs and employment for transgender people, 10 years now and the government has not issued anything on that front. No reservation has been implemented for transgender community in education and employment, except in Karnataka there is 1%. I'm not sure if it's very effective, but I'm very happy that it has been there. In Tamil Nadu and in Kerala, we don't have reservations in jobs for transgender people here. So that these are all some of the issues. Even after the NALSA judgment, there has been a slow progress, and that is why it's absolutely important for activist people to raise up to do our work even more with much more intensity and keep fighting for our rights.
അതെ, ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ ഉന്നമനത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള നിരന്തരമായ പോരാട്ട കഥയാണ് കൽക്കി സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യത്തിന്റെ ജീവിതകഥ. മറ്റുള്ളവരെ പോലെ ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ സമൂഹത്തിന് വിവേചനമില്ലാതെ അന്തസ്സോടെ ജീവിക്കാനുള്ള അന്തരീക്ഷം ഉണ്ടാകുന്നതുവരെ ആ പോരാട്ട വീര്യവുമായി അവർ മുന്നോട്ട് സഞ്ചരിക്കുക തന്നെ ചെയ്യും.
ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡേഴ്സ് ആക്ടിവിസ്റ്റും കലാകാരിയുമായ കൽക്കി സുബ്രഹ്മണ്യം പങ്കെടുത്ത പരിപാടി ഇവിടെ പൂർണ്ണമാകുന്നു. തയ്യാറാക്കിയത് ദുർഗ ബാലകൃഷ്ണൻ.
ആർട്ട് കഫേ. കലയുടെ സംസ്കാര സമന്വയ മുദ്രകൾ.